What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Bogle here with another unboxing review of Prime 1 Studios' Gut in his Berserker armor. I've been really looking forward to the statue for a really long time. I've heard so much about it. We're gonna crack into these boxes and see what Prime 1 has for us going on this time. I'm sure it won't disappoint. Stick around. Okay, so now we are going to unbox the bigger box, which has the base in it, so we can start with that. So let's get into it. So it looks like we got the instructions here, which are very important since all of this goes in a very particular way. Yeah, we're gonna set that to the side. Okay, that was probably the most obnoxious and most involved styrofoam unboxing I've ever done so far, so I'm glad you guys witnessed that. All right, so let's go ahead and figure this thing out, but let's get our instructions first. Okay. As always, we're gonna start with the base. All right guys, we got the base out. We're gonna take all the other parts out and lay them out here and get an idea of everything before we continue. So let's do that. All right guys, so as you can see, these are all the pieces out of the box. We're gonna look at the instructions and figure out where everything goes. This is all the pieces except the cape. The cape had to be set on the ground. It's just way too big. So let's go ahead and find all the places that all the parts go and see what happens when we get this thing together. All right guys, let's start off with step one. Let me say that this cape is humongous and it's heavy and it's really well sculpted. I just had to make a note on how crazy this cape actually is.
Perfect.
All right guys, we got everything together now. Everything is in its proper place. Thank goodness Prime 1 sends these crazy instructions because you definitely need them. Even with the instructions, I was having a hard time figuring out where all the swords went and how the feet should be posed or whatever, but I did it, figured it out. So first of all, this thing is humongous. It's obviously huge. It really kind of goes more along on the sides of the Zod kind of size and scale. Femto's really big too, but it's got a lot of openness to it. This thing has just so much going on. Starting with the base down here, we got that same traditional kind of Celtic knot design going on that we see in the other pieces down here. Got the Brand of Sacrifice logo right in the front. I really love the base with these troll-looking monster guys down here. I remember them in the anime. I remember them in the manga. It's so cool seeing a realistic take on them. Got a little styrofoam here and there, but we'll get it. The action in this is just crazy. This thing really tells an amazing story. I love this sword going into this beast's throat here. The cuts are really deep and sharp. You can just tell the blades were really, really sharp, making this damage. I love this stuck in there. It almost looks like we're catching it as it happened, so creating a lot of action. Cruising around, we get more swords that are dropped right in here. I really like these crazy horn-looking spikes with the eye shields. Just some more really great detail going on. The leg here, the toenails are just disgusting. I love it's kind of got a transparent resin vibe going on, at least on this leg, I think. I don't think it's transparent on the faces here, but again, the poses of these, I almost like these guys more than what's going on up here. This is amazing, but down here it's just so much happening. I feel like they really remind you can do so much with these bases. Some people don't care for a big base, but if you're gonna go for something like this, get wild with the base for sure. More swords sticking into the cliff here. I love it. I love this big troll looking monsters right here in the very front. I love the bent back twisted pose of his arm. It just looks like he fell awkward, like it really would happen in battle. His guts just spewing out. I love this drip of blood, just again creating like that peak moment of just awesomeness from the scene. It just really tells a story really well. You can see what he had to do to get here with this. So cruising on up, I love the detail on the rock. I love all the blood. I love that it's just pooled and dripping like he's been hanging here for a few seconds. That looks really great. I can actually see the hole where the other sword goes in. So if this is too tall, which it's really tall, but if it's too tall for where you need to put it, you can change out this sword to where he's down and it brings the profile down a little bit. We'll put that on there too and get a really good view of both of the poses, but for now we're gonna go with this since it's just so powerful. I love this pose of guts here. It's awesome. I love the arm hanging down and you can really feel the weight of his body and his armor. The cape, sculpted capes are probably my favorite thing in the statue world. I'm not a huge fan of mixed media capes or really mixed media in general. I kind of just want it to be a sculpture. Sometimes you can do so much more with it in a sculpt than you can with like the mixed media. So I'm really glad this isn't a big fabric cape. I think that would have just been, it would have brought it down a lot. The sculpt on the cape's amazing. The mud is great. All these slashes and cuts and stuff. I think they maybe could have done a little bit more detail in the paint with bringing out the abrasions, but it's fabric, so maybe not, you know? I love how dirty his cape looks, all the movement, you just can feel the energy and the wind moving here. The armor, it's so cool to see him in three dimensions with this armor. I love this armor. It's probably some of my favorite out of any anime really, but it's really cool to see it like this. The helmet, you can really see his facial expression inside. Now this is the regular version. I missed the EX version because I was kind of late to finding this one, but when I saw that I could still get this one, I just absolutely had to nab it up. I would rather have this than not it at all. So I did mix the EX that had a different head, but this one's, honestly, I'd probably just pose this one. I can see him, but also like I can really get a good idea of like the Beast helmet vibe here. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or maybe if the cape can go in anymore. I'm not sure, it doesn't seem that way, but it seems like there's a bigger gap from the bottom jaw to the top here. In my mind, I feel like it should hug it more, but I don't know. So this thing is so big and so dynamic and so much weight is being held on certain parts of the statue. It's pretty wild and the engineering is crazy. So the cape maybe can sink down. Whenever I disassemble this and put it on the shelf, maybe I'll play with it a bit more and see if that's what's going on. But again, it looks fine. I just think it could probably come down maybe like 1/8 of an inch, a bit more. I love the Dragon Slayer sword just chilling on his shoulder here. It looks really good. Yeah, it kind of looks like the cape could possibly come down a bit more. I'll have to play with that just a little bit, but yeah, this is a cool little piece that hangs off. It just makes it a little bit more dynamic. I love this right here on the sword is an actual like chain loop. It's not a sculpt, it's a real piece of metal that moves. That's really great. So the detail on the sword, I mean, it's just the dried blood, which I love. I love the dried blood smear more than the drip. On the Zod piece, he has options of drip or dried blood. So I tend to really go for this. I just think it looks a little tougher. So yeah, basically, we're gonna get some 360 shots of this thing, but all in all, I think it's an excellent statue. It's absolutely amazing and definitely will look so good with Zod and Femto that I have going on here. Cannot wait to get it up there and see. I'm also noticing that the brand of sacrifice is here and Guts is actually like kicked off to the side. He's not facing you straight on, which I like because I would want him to kind of be looking a little bit left. I don't want him looking directly at me as I'm viewing the statue. I feel like that makes it stiff. This makes it a little bit more dynamic, the fact that he's kicked just a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and switch out the arms and get a full 360 of how it is now, let you guys see everything. Then we're gonna switch out the arms and get a full 360 of that pose too. And then just basically get some really good photos of this thing and let you guys see all the detail that I'm seeing here in person. Again, Prime 1 just does not disappoint. This thing's absolutely amazing. They just keep getting better, really. That's why this line, and especially this company, is just particularly addictive because you just really feel where your money went with this. So real quick, I'm gonna get a measurement for you guys at the highest point. So let's go ahead and start. So it looks like 37 inches to the top of the sword, which I'm pretty sure is not going to work on my top shelf over here on my display cabinet. So I am probably gonna have to pose him with the arms down. Still a badass pose. I kind of figured that would be the case because this thing is out of control as far as the height. Yeah, so let's get into it and get some closer looks at this thing. All right guys, so we went ahead and got Guts here mounted on his case he's gonna be living on. So as you can see, he just fits probably about 5 or 6 inches above him before we hit the ceiling. Got this awesome print here by Dave Raposa, which you can find on his Patreon. I'll put the link down at the bottom. If you guys are interested, you can get the art file from him and print it yourself. It's pretty awesome. Got Zod here. We haven't reviewed Zod yet, but we're going to. He needed a little repair, so we're waiting on that, but Zod will be coming with the full review. And then we were able to get Femto down here into the case. He fit really well. I thought maybe he would be a little tall for it, but he's not. He fits great. So this is the setup now until more Berserk comes in, and then we will eventually make this entire wall all Berserk. Got the God Hand coming, as well as a couple other versions of some of the other characters. Right now we just kind of have things that go together okay, but you know, everything's a work in progress. But really, it's all about Guts here and how he looks posed with the lighting. I think he looks really, really, really great. Again, I really love that if you're standing straight on to him, he's still kicked to the side. He's not facing you straight on. I think that was a really good idea. And yeah, all these goblin trolls just getting sliced and hacked up. These things look amazing when you take them out of the box, but when I put them on the shelf and I have the track lighting hitting them, I really think it just makes it that much better. Just wanted you guys to check it out and see how it was going to be displayed. Right here in the middle, I have the two bookends coming from Dark Horse to hold the books. It's Guts, Dragon Slayer sword, bookends cutting through the books. I'm really excited about that. It'll look great, and it'll also show the print back there. But yeah, just a little update on where he's gonna live with his other family. I really love this statue, guys. This thing's amazing. The cape, how dynamic it is, how he's perched. You know he's big, but he's perched and squatted. Fantastic line by Prime One. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. Thanks for tuning in. And hey, look, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do that. Just give that button right down there a click, subscribe, and give a thumbs up to this channel. That really helps get our videos out there and lets people start seeing some of this stuff going on. Helps me out a whole lot. And click that notification bell, because we're just gonna have statues just keep coming in. We're gonna keep doing these open box reviews. I'm actually gonna be doing a room tour and give you guys an update on everything that's going on and my plans for the future. So thanks for joining us. Click the notification bell, catch the next video next time. Like, comment, subscribe. If you guys have any questions, comments, if you like the channel, if you wanna see something else, more content, whatever, this is for you guys. So let me know what you would like to see. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time. It's Bogle here with a Nogle. Oh my God. I mean, this is getting like a little ridiculous, right? Like